Happy Friday. It's the night before game day, and I'm just coming back to give my preview of the Georgia Tech Virginia Tech game this tomorrow at 3:30. Uh, I'm going to make this really short because, well, my thoughts on the game are pretty much the same as everyone else's thoughts on the game. I don't really have a different opinion than some of the other Georgia Tech reporters and fans that have made videos on this one. My opinions are pretty much the same. That on paper, this looks like a game where both offensively and defensively we line up pretty well against Virginia Tech, but there's also going to be some struggle. Virginia Tech has held their last four opponents to less than 100 rushing yards. So that's going to be a trouble for our rush defense. But at the same time, they really haven't seen an offense quite like ours yet. And they just lost to Wake Forest, and that doesn't surprise me. Wake's a better team than VT right now. And VT's kind of in shambles. They just fired their coach, Brent Pry, and Philip Montgomery is now the interim head coach. So they're kind of at the same spot that we were at 3 years ago, in that they are rebuilding but kind of resurging. And of course, they were not in nearly as bad a shape as we were in 2022 when we fired Jeff Collins and Brent Key became the head man. But it's kind of a similar situation in that they started the season 0-3. They fire their coach, and then they get a couple wins after that. Including a very close win at Carter Finley Stadium against NC State. So I do think that Virginia Tech, they're not a great team. They may not even be a good team, but they're a scrappy team. And that's one team that the Jackets have struggled against for years, is that scrappy team that can put up a fight in the ACC. We've been that team for the last couple of years, and now we're the team at the top. Everybody's going to be coming for us. So on paper, we're the better team. You know, we got the better offense. Um, they haven't seen an offense like ours that can put up rushing yards, can potentially put up some passing yards, but you know, we need to see more from our rush game with Jamal Haynes and Malachi Hosley. Haynes can't do it all. He's done way too much for us, and the fear I think on every Yellow Jacket fan's mind is how long he's gonna go this season. Now, let me be clear. I'm a little different than some of these folks when it comes to Haynes King. Let me go down this rabbit hole for a little bit. If Haynes King goes down, I have zero concerns regarding Aaron Philo starting. I think that Aaron Philo is very talented. I think that he has had in-game moments. I mean, if you think that Philo can't do what Haynes King can do, go and watch the highlights from last year's NC State game and how he manufactured a 2-minute offense in a minute 30 to go down the field and win the ball game. And you might think a little differently than than some of these folks out there basically thinking that he couldn't do the job as well as Haynes. Maybe not. I don't think he could play as much hero ball as Haynes King can, where he can run it in himself and come back from down 17 points on the road. But I just haven't seen it yet. I think he's capable, but I hadn't seen it yet. But back to the game. The real playmakers, of course, is Kyron Drones at quarterback, and Terrion Stewart, if he plays at running back. He came from Bowling Green, and he was on that 2023 Bowling Green team that came onto the flats and beat us. So we don't have a good history against him. But those are the two challenges. I think this will be a much more challenging game than some folks think. I think we are the better team, but we got to go out there and prove it. Of course, I thought we were a better team than Wake Forest, and we didn't go out there and really prove it 2 weeks ago until, well, the second half. But we should have played the whole game that way. Play the whole game that way, nobody's complaining about an offsides call. The game doesn't go into overtime, and we don't have to pick off a 2-point conversion to win. Those are the things that I feel are hampering this team. The little things. Okay, the short yardage that we're not getting. We go from 2nd and 8 to 3rd and 1. We're not getting that extra yard to get the first down. We're dropping passes, or Haynes isn't hitting his targets as well as I want to, with the exception of Isaiah Canyon. He's had a couple of great catches. That hurdle he did in the fourth quarter was like something out of an Olympian. I enjoyed that, but I'm not really seeing the oomph that this offense can bring. It's one of the best offenses that Georgia Tech has had in a while, and I want to see it. And I think that this game and the magnitude of this game, bringing back the 1990 team and christening it the Tecmo Bowl, which I think's a great name because it's sort of punny and I like puns. And, I wasn't part of the Tecmo Bowl era, that video game. I was born in the early 90s, so I was a little bit too young for that, I think. But I knew some people that played that game. Very old sort of computer game before there were computer games. And just to call it the Tecmo Bowl is funny to me. It's humorous. And it should get people in the seats. From what I hear, I don't know if this is true or not, but I have an inside source that tells me there's still 1,200 seats left. And there have been several flash deals for this football game. We had the $19.90 flash sale. We had the $27.20 flash sale. And even Buzz himself, we're having Buzz Day tomorrow. Buzz himself sent out a flash deal. So y'all can get tickets pretty cheap. Y'all can get tickets cheaper than a meal at most restaurants for this game nowadays. Seems like entrees are $30 everywhere, and tickets to this game are cheaper than that. So if you're in the Atlanta area, you're not working, you don't have anything going on, there's really not an excuse to be there. I don't want to sound like that guy who gatekeeps the fan base and is sort of begging people to come to games, but there's opportunities out there. And we need to show out for this game because this is going to be a pretty big football game. I think that when all is said and done, this is going to be the biggest home game of the year, even bigger than the win against Clemson. I think this one is going to be the benchmark one because, of course, we have a chance to be bowl eligible. And every Tech fan knows, every college football fan knows that when you get to 5 wins, that 6th win to be bowl eligible is always the hardest one to get. Of course, once you get that win, sometimes it feels like you can get 10 wins because that burden is lifted off your shoulders. But there's a lot of pressure this weekend. So Hard Hat Jack tells you to be there, okay? Be there, 3:30 at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Come see me if you want. I don't know why you would want to see me, but come see me. I'm in 213, row 1, right behind Calvin Johnson's name. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be there. My family and I are taking somebody else, so we got somebody else coming into the stadium, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a good, hard-fought game. I think a very evenly matched game, even though on paper we should be the better Tech. My score prediction is we win this one 34-24. I'm just booking it right now. That's my score prediction, and I'm sticking to it. We're favored by 14. I don't think we'll quite cover because we have a habit of not covering. But that's all I have to say, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Go Jackets!